Happy 4th of July. Everyone says happy birthday, USA. And in our family, we try to take a look at what that means for a minute. Very proud to be Americans and special day. So hope you join us for a couple minutes here and let's take a look. So what happened on July 4th, 1776? Declaration of Independence. Unanimous in Congress, the Second Continental Congress. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to their separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the President and King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. They list holistic facts, starting from he has refused his assent to laws, forbidden his governors to pass laws, refused to pass other laws. It goes on and on and on. Obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing powers. He is affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. Cutting off trade, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants, for depriving of many cases of the benefit of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, so it continues. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in intentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world, for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may have right to, and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And was signed by the delegates of the Second Continental Convention. And I just say one thing. I don't know. Given the week we've had with what went on and after the election, tyranny is the last thing we ever, there's never been, even with Washington and from Adams to Jefferson, bitter rivals. There's never been a transition of power that hasn't been peaceful in this country. And that the things that came out, and now he's saying he's going to run again, and that nobody on the polarized sides think to change their mind based off that. It's not what our country's about. And just like Memorial Day, it's not about barbecues. July 4th isn't either. We have a perfect union that we need to maintain and keep perfect. So happy 4th of July, everybody.